Welcome back to Top Liberty Coins. Today we are talking about one of the most mysterious and valuable coins in American coin collecting history, the incredible 1965 Liberty coin. At first glance this coin may look completely normal, just another old piece of pocket change that millions of people handled decades ago. But hidden inside a few rare examples are errors, unusual mint conditions, and special characteristics that can transform an ordinary coin into a collector's dream worth thousands and sometimes even tens of thousands of dollars. The year 1965 was one of the most important moments in coin history because this was the period when major changes happened in the United States coin production system. Before 1965 many coins were made using silver, but rising silver prices forced the government to change the metal composition. This made 1965 coins extremely important because they represent a turning point in the history of American currency. During that time millions of coins entered circulation. People spent them in grocery stores, restaurants, gas stations, and vending machines without thinking twice. But years later collectors discovered that a very small number of these coins were produced with unusual minting errors and rare characteristics that make them highly desirable in the collector market today. One reason collectors search for the 1965 Liberty coin is because of striking errors. During the minting process machines sometimes malfunctioned, creating coins with double designs, off-center strikes, weak lettering, unusual surface patterns, and incomplete edge formations. Imagine owning a coin that looks ordinary but secretly contains a mint error so rare that auction houses compete to sell it. This is exactly why serious collectors spend years searching through old coin collections hoping to discover rare condition is another factor that dramatically changes value. Coins are graded based on preservation quality. If a coin remained untouched for decades with no scratches, no wear, sharp design details, and perfect surface shine, collectors may classify it as an extremely high-grade example. The higher the grade, the higher the value becomes. Some ordinary circulated 1965 Liberty coins may only sell for small amounts above face value, but when rare errors or perfect condition examples appear, prices can skyrocket. Certain collectors have paid hundreds, thousands, and in exceptional auction situations even far more than expected depending on rarity and demand. The reason prices increase so dramatically is simple. Collectors are constantly competing for the rarest examples available. Once a rare coin enters a private collection it may disappear for decades, making surviving examples even harder to find. Scarcity creates demand, and demand creates enormous market value. Experts examine every tiny detail under magnification. They look at lettering sharpness, date clarity, metal texture, strike strength, and unusual production marks. Sometimes details invisible to the naked eye are exactly what makes one coin ordinary and another coin worth a fortune. Many people inherit old jars filled with coins from parents or grandparents without realizing what might be hidden inside. A forgotten collection sitting in a drawer for years could contain rare valuable coins waiting to be discovered. Stories continue appearing where collectors find rare pieces among ordinary change and suddenly discover they own something worth thousands. One fascinating part about the 1965 Liberty coin is that collectors continue finding new variations even decades after production. Because millions were minted, identifying rare examples requires patience and knowledge. Tiny differences in strike quality or unusual production errors can completely transform collector interest. Auction houses around the world closely monitor rare coin appearances. When exceptional examples surface, bidding wars often begin immediately. Wealthy collectors, investors, and historical enthusiasts compete for ownership because rare coins are more than money. They represent history frozen in metal. Coin collecting has grown rapidly in recent years because people understand that rare coins can function as historical artifacts and alternative investments. Unlike modern money, collectible coins gain value based on rarity, historical significance, collector demand, and condition. Some collectors spend hours studying edge details, weight differences, and design positioning because even microscopic variations matter. A single mistake created during production decades ago can become the reason a coin reaches incredible market value today. The story behind the 1965 Liberty coin continues attracting both beginner collectors and professional experts. Every year people discover forgotten collections, examine old change jars, and uncover rare coins that had gone unnoticed for decades. Imagine the excitement of finding one hidden among your own coins. Something that once purchased a simple everyday item decades ago could now attract serious collector interest. This possibility is exactly why millions of people search through old coins every single year hoping to discover valuable hidden treasures. The coin market continues evolving as collectors become more educated and rare examples become harder to find. Experts always recommend checking old collections carefully because appearances can be deceiving. A coin that looks ordinary may actually contain characteristics that separate it from millions of standard examples. History makes this coin even more special. The year 1965 marked major transformation in coin production technology and metal composition changes. Rare coin discoveries continue making headlines because values keep surprising people. Every year new auction records remind collectors that overlooked pocket change can sometimes hold incredible financial potential. So before ignoring old coins sitting around your home, take a closer look. That forgotten 1965 Liberty coin could hold secrets unknown to the average person. Hidden minting errors, exceptional preservation, or unusual production characteristics might transform an ordinary coin into a highly valuable collectible. Thousands of collectors around the world are constantly searching for these rare pieces because they understand that history and rarity create extraordinary value. The next valuable discovery could already be sitting quietly inside an old collection waiting for someone curious enough to look carefully. Sometimes the biggest treasure is not gold, diamonds, or expensive jewelry. Sometimes treasure is a simple coin people ignored for decades until collectors revealed its true value. And somewhere right now someone may unknowingly own a rare 1965 Liberty coin worth far more than they ever imagined. The question is simple. Could that rare coin be hiding in your collection right now? Check your coins carefully because history might be sitting in the palm of your hand and its value could completely shock you. Today. And one coin that has created huge excitement in the coin collecting world is the famous 1970 Liberty coin. What looks like an ordinary piece of metal could actually turn into a life-changing discovery worth hundreds, thousands, and in rare cases even shocking amounts that many people simply cannot believe. The story of the 1970 Liberty coin begins during an important period in American coin history. The United States Mint was producing millions of coins every single day to keep up with circulation demands across the country. During this era, coin production methods were changing, metal compositions were being studied carefully, and minting errors occasionally happened without workers noticing immediately. These tiny mistakes later became the exact reason why certain collectors today are willing to pay incredible prices for rare examples from that year. At first glance, a 1970 Liberty coin may look completely normal. The design appears familiar, the date seems ordinary, and most people would spend it without giving it a second thought. But experienced collectors know something most people do not know. Tiny details on the surface can completely change the value of the coin. A small mint error, unusual strike pattern, doubled lettering, off-center design, rare metal variation, or extremely high-quality preservation can transform an everyday coin into something collectors fight over at auctions. Many people wonder why collectors care so much about older coins. The answer is simple. Rare coins tell stories from history. Every scratch, every detail, every design mark reflects the era when that coin was created. The year 1970 represented a fascinating time in American history, and coins from this period became highly desirable because certain minting variations were produced in limited numbers. Some coins entered circulation normally while others carried rare characteristics nobody noticed for decades. One of the most exciting things about the 1970 Liberty coin is the possibility of hidden minting errors. During production, coin dies occasionally developed imperfections. Sometimes letters appeared doubled. Sometimes numbers were struck unevenly. In rare situations coins were struck using incorrect metal blanks. These unusual mistakes escaped the mint and entered circulation where people used them every day, completely unaware they were spending something incredibly valuable. Collectors especially pay close attention to condition. A coin kept in excellent condition for decades becomes significantly more valuable than one damaged through everyday use. Coins with sharp details, bright surfaces, original luster, and minimal scratches attract serious buyers willing to pay premium prices. A heavily circulated coin may be worth only face value, while a nearly perfect preserved example can sell for surprising amounts far beyond what most people imagine. Some auction houses have seen dramatic bidding wars over rare Liberty coins. Coin collectors around the world constantly search estate sales, flea markets, inherited collections, antique shops, and old piggy banks hoping to discover hidden treasures. Stories continue appearing about people finding forgotten coins worth thousands of dollars simply because they recognized a rare date and knew what details to examine carefully. The 1970 Liberty coin became especially interesting because several variations were produced across different mint locations. Coins struck in different mints sometimes carry subtle differences invisible to ordinary people. These small differences make certain versions extremely rare. Collectors spend years studying tiny characteristics under magnification, comparing strike details, lettering spacing, and surface texture to identify rare varieties hiding among common examples. Another reason these coins attract attention is market demand. Coin collecting has grown enormously over the years. As more collectors enter the market, competition increases for rare examples. When supply remains low and demand grows stronger, prices naturally rise. This is exactly why some old coins that once seemed worthless suddenly become highly valuable decades later. The market constantly changes, and coins previously ignored sometimes become future treasures. Imagine opening an old family box filled with forgotten coins collected decades ago. Most people see loose change. But a trained collector immediately notices dates, mint marks, unusual designs, and rare errors that can dramatically increase value. The excitement of discovering a valuable coin creates the same thrill as finding hidden treasure buried in plain sight where nobody expected it. Experts recommend carefully examining every 1970 Liberty coin you find. Look closely at the numbers and the date. Inspect the edges carefully. Study the lettering around the design. Search for unusual doubling, missing details, weak strikes, or strange color variations. Sometimes the smallest imperfections become the biggest reason collectors offer serious money for a single coin. Coin grading companies play a huge role in determining value. Professional grading experts inspect coins under magnification and assign condition scores based on preservation quality. Even a tiny difference in grade can dramatically affect price. Two coins from the same year may look similar to the average person, but professional grading can reveal one is worth hundreds or thousands more simply because of superior condition. Stories continue circulating about collectors discovering extraordinary coins by accident. Someone cleaning out an old drawer finds a forgotten Liberty coin. Another person receives old change from a relative. A family inheritance reveals hidden treasures untouched for decades. What once seemed ordinary suddenly becomes a valuable collectible attracting worldwide interest among serious buyers. The fascinating world of rare coins teaches an important lesson. Valuable treasures often hide in places people ignore every day. A simple coin sitting unnoticed for years can carry incredible historical importance and financial value. The 1970 Liberty coin proves that appearances can be deceiving. Something small enough to fit inside your pocket could potentially represent a remarkable discovery waiting to be recognized. Today collectors continue searching aggressively for rare examples from 1970 because demand remains strong. Auction values fluctuate depending on rarity, condition, grading quality, and collector competition. Exceptional specimens have achieved astonishing prices that surprise even experienced collectors. Every year new discoveries enter the market, creating fresh excitement across the coin collecting community. So before you spend old coins without checking carefully, remember this remarkable story. That forgotten 1970 Liberty coin hiding inside an old jar, family collection, or dusty drawer could be far more valuable than anyone realizes. What seems ordinary today could become tomorrow's incredible discovery. Rare coins continue proving that hidden wealth sometimes exists in the smallest places imaginable. The next extraordinary treasure might already be in your hands right now, waiting for someone to notice the secret value hidden within a simple piece of history. Today we are looking at one fascinating coin that has captured the attention of collectors around the world, the incredible 1974 Liberty coin, a coin that many people have ignored for decades but which in certain rare conditions has shocked the market with astonishing prices. The year 1974 was a very important time in American coin production. During this period millions of coins were produced and entered circulation across the country. Most people believed these coins had only face value and nothing more. They were used in stores, vending machines, restaurants, and daily transactions. Nobody imagined that years later some of these coins would become valuable collector items that serious buyers would chase for extraordinary amounts of money. The Liberty design on American coins has always attracted attention because it represents freedom, history, and the identity of the United States. For generations these coins have become symbols of history frozen in metal. The 1974 Liberty coin became especially interesting because hidden among regular mintages were rare examples with unusual characteristics that separated them from the millions of normal pieces produced that year. When collectors examine coins, they focus on details ordinary people never notice. Tiny differences in strike quality, unusual mint errors, missing details, doubled letters, off-center strikes, die cracks, and exceptional preservation can completely transform the value of a coin. A coin worth only a few cents in normal condition can suddenly become worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands when rare features are discovered. One of the reasons the 1974 Liberty coin became famous is because collectors discovered that some examples were preserved in almost perfect condition. These coins avoided years of damage that normally happens during circulation. Think about how many hands touch a coin over decades. Coins get scratched, dropped, bent, worn down, and damaged through constant use. But a few lucky coins remain untouched and these become extremely desirable. Condition is everything in the world of rare coin collecting. Professional grading companies inspect coins under magnification and assign grades that determine quality. Even one tiny scratch can reduce value dramatically. The highest graded examples of older coins often create bidding wars between wealthy collectors determined to own the very best surviving specimen. The minting process itself can create accidental treasures. During production machines strike enormous numbers of coins rapidly every minute. Sometimes mechanical mistakes happen. Dies become damaged. Alignment shifts slightly. Metal blanks enter incorrectly. These mistakes create rare error coins and collectors pay enormous premiums for these unusual pieces because no two errors are exactly alike. Some 1974 Liberty coins have become famous because of double die errors. This happens when the design is accidentally impressed twice in slightly different positions. The result creates visible doubling in numbers or letters. To an untrained eye the difference may seem small, but experienced collectors know these details can transform an ordinary coin into an extraordinary discovery. Another reason collectors search for older Liberty coins is historical nostalgia. Every coin tells the story of the era in which it was created. In 1974 the world looked very different than today. Economies were changing, inflation was rising, technology was primitive compared to modern standards, and millions of these coins quietly moved through everyday life while history unfolded around them. Imagine a coin sitting forgotten inside an old drawer for 50 years. Families inherit jars of coins from grandparents without realizing rare treasures may be hidden inside. Many collectors share stories about discovering valuable coins in old family collections that had been ignored for decades. This possibility makes coin collecting exciting because treasure hunts can happen anywhere. The current market for rare coins has grown dramatically. Collectors worldwide compete in auctions where exceptional coins can sell for unbelievable prices. A standard 1974 Liberty coin in circulated condition may hold only modest value, but rare varieties and pristine examples have sold for astonishing amounts that surprise even experienced collectors. Sometimes people hear stories about coins selling for hundreds of thousands and assume every old coin is valuable. That is not true. The secret lies in rarity combined with demand. Millions of common coins survive, but rare error varieties and exceptional grades create scarcity. Scarcity drives competition, and competition pushes prices higher. Collectors often use magnifying tools to inspect every detail carefully. They examine lettering around the edges, the date, mint marks, unusual textures, strike sharpness, and color tone. Copper and nickel compositions age differently depending on storage conditions. Toning patterns sometimes add beauty, making certain coins even more attractive to collectors. The fascinating thing about coin collecting is unpredictability. Valuable discoveries continue happening even today. People regularly submit coins for grading believing they own ordinary pieces only to learn they possess rare examples worth life-changing money. Stories like these inspire millions to inspect old coins more carefully than ever before. The 1974 Liberty coin continues generating attention because every year collectors learn more about surviving examples. Population reports reveal how few perfect specimens remain. The fewer top-quality examples available, the stronger collector demand becomes. Wealthy buyers often compete aggressively because they know opportunities are limited. Auction houses around the world have recorded remarkable sales involving rare coins. Serious collectors sometimes spend enormous sums to complete specialized collections. Owning a rare historical coin is more than owning metal. It is owning a piece of history, craftsmanship, and scarcity combined into a small object that survived decades. Many beginners ignore old coins because they assume valuable coins must be ancient. In reality, modern-era coins can also become incredibly valuable under the right circumstances. Rare minting mistakes and preservation quality often matter more than age alone. A coin from the 1970s can sometimes outperform much older pieces in collector markets. Experts recommend checking for unusual surface marks, weak strikes, missing design elements, rotated dies, clipped planchets, and unusual coloration. These details may indicate rare production anomalies. Coins once dismissed as ordinary can suddenly become collector treasures after professional examination reveals hidden rarity. The emotional excitement behind discovering valuable coins cannot be overstated. Imagine learning a coin you found in an old collection could sell for an amount capable of changing financial circumstances completely. Stories like these fuel worldwide fascination with coin collecting communities growing larger every year. Collectors also appreciate the artistry involved in coin design. The Liberty image carries deep symbolism representing independence and national identity. Artists who designed these coins understood that every detail mattered. Decades later, collectors admire not only rarity but the beauty preserved in these miniature works of art. What makes the coin market truly fascinating is constant change. Prices rise as collector interest increases. Rare examples become harder to find. Coins once considered affordable gradually enter higher price ranges. This means coins overlooked today could become far more valuable in future years as supply decreases. The dream of discovering hidden treasure keeps collectors searching everywhere. Old piggy banks, inherited collections, forgotten drawers, antique stores, estate sales, and everyday pocket change all become possible treasure hunting locations. Every coin carries mystery until examined closely. The 1974 Liberty coin proves an important lesson. Never underestimate ordinary-looking coins. Something small enough to fit in your pocket can carry remarkable historical importance and potentially incredible collector value. What appears common at first glance may hide extraordinary rarity invisible to most people. Imagine millions of people spending coins every day while one rare example quietly waits to be discovered. That possibility turns everyday change into an exciting mystery. Every collector knows the next life-changing discovery might already exist somewhere unnoticed among ordinary coins. So before ignoring old coins sitting around your home, take a closer look. Check dates carefully. Search for unusual details. Compare designs. Study mint marks. Inspect surfaces under bright light. Because history has proven again and again that hidden treasures often exist in the places people least expect. Somewhere right now a forgotten 1974 Liberty coin could be waiting inside a jar, drawer, wallet, or collection, silently carrying far greater value than anyone realizes. The next incredible discovery could belong to someone who simply decided to look carefully before spending an old coin. And perhaps the most exciting truth of all is this. Rare coin discoveries happen every year. The market continues growing. Collectors continue searching. Values continue rising. History continues rewarding those who understand the hidden power of overlooked treasures. That tiny 1974 Liberty coin may look ordinary, but in the world of collectors it could represent history, rarity, beauty, scarcity, and extraordinary financial value all compressed into one unforgettable piece of metal. The question is simple. How many valuable coins have already passed through your hands without you ever noticing their true worth? Today we are talking about a coin that many people have seen, many people have ignored, but very few people understand the incredible value hiding behind it. We are talking about the fascinating 1979 D-Top Liberty coin, a coin that collectors around the world continue searching for because certain rare examples have sold for shocking amounts of money and some collectors believe special versions could be worth life-changing prices. Imagine opening an old coin jar sitting in your house for years, digging through forgotten change from decades ago, and suddenly finding a coin that could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even in rare collector situations an amount nobody expected. That is exactly why the 1979 D Liberty coin has become one of the most discussed coins in the collecting world. Most people think old coins are just old money, but experienced collectors know one. The year 1979 was an important period in United States coin production. During this era millions of coins were being produced every single day across American mint facilities. The Denver Mint, represented by the famous D Mint mark stamped on the coin, was producing enormous quantities. These coins entered circulation everywhere. They passed through stores, banks, vending machines, collectors' hands, and ordinary pockets all across the country. Most were spent and forgotten forever, but some were struck differently, some carried unusual minting errors, and some survived in extraordinary condition that now makes them incredibly valuable. When collectors examine a 1979 D Liberty coin, they immediately begin checking the surface under strong magnification. They search carefully for doubling errors around letters. They inspect whether the Liberty inscription shows unusual striking pressure. They examine the date placement, the rim thickness, the texture around the portrait, and whether the coin escaped the mint with unusual imperfections created during production. These tiny differences separate ordinary coins from extraordinary treasures. A standard circulated 1979 D coin may only carry face value or slightly more depending on where, but condition changes everything. Coins that remain protected for decades with no scratches, no discoloration, and almost perfect mint condition can command surprising collector premiums. When grading companies inspect these coins, now imagine the excitement surrounding error coins. Mint errors are accidental production mistakes created during manufacturing. Sometimes dies strike slightly off-center. Sometimes letters appear doubled. Sometimes metal planchets have imperfections. Sometimes coins receive weak strikes creating unusual surface appearance. Collectors spend years searching for these mistakes because rarity creates value. A rare error on a 1979 D Liberty coin. Many collectors have paid hundreds of dollars simply because a coin displayed a visible strike anomaly. Others have paid thousands when a rare certified example appeared at auction. Stories continue appearing in collector communities where forgotten coin collections reveal one reason these coins attract attention is survival rate. Millions were minted, but very few survive in pristine collector-grade condition. Coins naturally suffer damage over time. They rub against other coins. They gather scratches. They lose shine. Edges wear down. Professional collectors understand grading is everything. Small differences invisible to ordinary people can multiply value dramatically. Another reason collectors love coins like the 1979 Liberty is historical connection. Every coin carries the story of the era when it was produced. In 1979, America was entering a changing economic period. Inflation concerns were growing. Collectors are not simply buying metal. They are buying preserved history. They are buying rarity. They are buying condition. They are buying a moment frozen in time. That emotional connection pushes values higher because demand continues increasing while supply of exceptional examples becomes smaller year after year. There are stories in the coin market where sellers underestimated what they owned. Someone sells an old coin collection cheaply, believing everything inside is common. Later a buyer discovers an overlooked rare variety hidden among ordinary coins. Suddenly a coin worth almost nothing becomes a prized collectible. This happens more often than people realize. Experts recommend checking every detail carefully. Examine Liberty lettering. Inspect the date. Confirm the D mint mark condition. Look for unusual shine patterns. Check for off-center striking. Inspect edge quality. Study portrait details carefully. Compare with verified collector examples. Tiny differences can reveal enormous value. Auction houses continue demonstrating how competitive collectors become when rare coins appear. When two determined buyers want the same rare high-grade example, bidding rises quickly. Prices climb beyond expectations. The market proves again and again that the idea that an old coin sitting unnoticed for decades can suddenly attract serious money fascinates millions of people worldwide. That possibility keeps collectors searching through jars, inherited collections, antique stores, estate sales, forgotten drawers, and family storage boxes hoping to discover overlooked treasures hiding in plain sight. Some collectors spend years learning subtle differences between ordinary strikes and rare variations. Experience matters. Knowledge matters. Patience matters. The difference between spending a common coin and recognizing a hidden collectible often comes down to education. The more details you understand, the more opportunities you can discover. The 1979 Liberty coin remains one of those fascinating coins that reminds everyone never to underestimate old currency. What appears ordinary today may become tomorrow's collector treasure. Markets constantly evolve. Demand changes. Imagine holding a coin produced nearly half a century ago, a coin that traveled through countless hands, survived changing generations, and somehow remained preserved enough to catch the attention of serious collectors willing to pay impressive amounts. That possibility transforms simple curiosity into serious treasure hunting. Some market discussions have placed exceptionally rare collectible examples at astonishing numbers depending on grading perfection, era rarity, auction competition, and collector demand. Stories circulate of rare coins reaching incredible values that ordinary people never imagined possible. The difference between common and extraordinary often depends on detail. Next time you check your coin collection, do not ignore older Liberty coins. Study every surface carefully. Use magnification. Compare details. Research mint marks. Examine condition. What looks ordinary may actually be a hidden collectible waiting to surprise you. The world of coin collecting continues proving one powerful truth. Treasure does not always come from gold mines or expensive safes. Sometimes treasure hides inside everyday change people. The 1979 top Liberty coin represents mystery, history, rarity, collector passion, and the exciting possibility that ordinary people may already own something unexpectedly valuable. That excitement keeps the search alive and keeps collectors constantly. So before spending old coins sitting around your home, look closely, because one small forgotten coin could completely change what you think about pocket change forever. Hidden fortune can appear where nobody expects it, and sometimes the next incredible discovery is already sitting right in your hands waiting to be recognized. Keep searching, keep collecting, and remember the next rare coin discovery could be closer than you think. Today we are talking about a coin that millions of people have seen, thousands have spent without thinking, but only a few collectors understand its shocking hidden value. Sitting quietly in old drawers, forgotten piggy banks, dusty collections, and even ordinary pocket change, one coin from the year 1980 has become one of the most talked about treasures among collectors across America. That coin is the famous 1980p Liberty coin, and what many people do not realize is that some rare examples of this coin have sold for incredible. The year 1980 was an unforgettable time in American history. The economy was facing serious inflation, people were watching prices rise everywhere, and the United States Mint was producing billions of coins to keep commerce moving. Among those coins was the famous Liberty design carrying the Philadelphia Mint mark represented by the letter P. At first glance it looked completely ordinary. Millions entered circulation immediately, and people used them every single day without paying attention. But hidden among these ordinary-looking coins were extremely rare examples that collectors now search for with unbelievable excitement. What makes the 1980p Liberty coin so fascinating is the fact that condition changes everything. A coin used heavily in circulation may only be worth face value. But a perfectly preserved coin with sharp details, original mint luster, brilliant surfaces, and no damage can suddenly become something far more valuable. Many people believe older coins automatically become valuable simply because they are old. That is not true. What truly creates enormous value is rarity, condition, collector demand, and special minting errors. The 1980p Liberty coin has all the ingredients that make collectors excited because certain rare versions contain mistakes created during the minting process. Imagine opening an old coin jar in your home and discovering a coin you thought was ordinary. Now imagine learning collectors are willing to pay huge amounts for that exact same coin simply because of tiny details almost nobody notices. This happens more often than people realize. Across the world, collectors constantly search for hidden rare coins because history has proven valuable treasures can remain unnoticed. The Philadelphia Mint played a huge role in American coin production during 1980. Massive numbers were struck there, but not every coin was produced perfectly. Sometimes machines became slightly misaligned. Sometimes dies developed cracks. Sometimes metal flow problems created unusual surfaces. Sometimes doubling occurred in the design itself. One of the biggest reasons collectors love the 1980p Liberty coin is because high-grade uncirculated examples are becoming increasingly difficult to locate. Coins that remain untouched after decades are extremely rare. Even a tiny scratch can lower value dramatically. Coins graded by professional grading companies often receive numerical scores that determine their desirability. The collectors pay close attention to the coin surface. They examine the shine under bright light. They inspect every line of the design. They check for unusual doubling around letters. They search for off-center strikes where the coin design shifted during production. They inspect the edge for abnormalities. Over the years several auction sales have shocked the collecting community when certain rare 1980 coins sold for unexpectedly high prices. Ordinary people often assume modern coins have no value, but collectors know better. The right coin in perfect condition with the right grading certification can generate intense bidding competition. Rare coins represent history frozen in metal, and collectors compete aggressively to own the best examples available. The Liberty design itself carries deep meaning in American culture. For generations Liberty represented freedom, independence, national identity, and the history of the United States. Every detail on the coin was carefully designed to symbolize ideals larger than money itself. Now here is where things become truly exciting. Some collectors search specifically for error varieties. If a 1980p Liberty coin contains a double strike, misaligned die, clipped planchet, die crack, off-center strike, or unusual surface defect created during mint production, the value can increase dramatically. Rare error coins create intense excitement because every mistake is unique. Unlike normal coins produced in huge quantities, error coins stand apart. Current market values vary widely. Common circulated examples often remain close to face value. Better preserved coins can sell for several dollars. Uncirculated pieces may reach significantly higher levels depending on quality. Professionally graded high mint state examples sometimes sell for hundreds or even thousands. Rare error varieties can command prices far beyond what ordinary collectors expect. Some extraordinary auction records have shown collectors willing to pay incredible premiums for rare condition coins. This is where stories begin spreading online about coins worth astonishing figures reaching extraordinary values. While not every 1980p Liberty coin is valuable, the rarest examples prove that even common-looking money can hide extraordinary surprises. Coin collectors always recommend checking old collections inherited from family members. Many valuable coins remain forgotten inside old boxes for decades. Grandparents often saved coins without knowing future collector demand would rise. Something ignored for 40 years can suddenly become highly desirable when rarity and condition combine together. The world of coin collecting continues growing every year. New collectors enter the market searching for hidden treasures. Online auctions have made rare coin sales visible to everyone. Information spreads faster than ever before. As more people discover collectible coins, demand continues increasing for important rare pieces that represent specific years and mint varieties. The biggest mistake people make is spending old coins without checking them first. A quick glance is never enough. Valuable details are often microscopic. Magnification reveals secrets invisible to the naked eye. Professional collectors. Some collectors build entire collections around specific decades. The coins of the 1980 era have become increasingly interesting because they combine modern production with collectible scarcity in top conditions. Imagine finding one of these coins in exceptional condition and discovering it holds collector value far beyond face value. Stories like these inspire millions of people to check old collections every year. Coin collecting is one of the few hobbies where history, treasure hunting, education, and financial rare coins remind us that value is not always obvious. Sometimes the most ordinary object carries extraordinary worth. The difference between a common coin and a valuable coin often comes down to details most people never notice. Knowledge becomes power in the world of collecting. The 1980p Liberty coin teaches an important lesson. Never underestimate what you already own. Hidden treasures may be sitting quietly in places you check every day. That forgotten coin jar on a shelf could hold something collectors desperately want. A single coin overlooked for decades might carry surprising value waiting. As collector demand grows, older high-quality examples continue becoming harder to find. Time naturally destroys condition. Coins scratched, cleaned, damaged, or worn lose collector appeal. Perfect examples survive in very limited numbers. Scarcity creates competition, and competition drives prices upward. Every year collectors spend huge amounts chasing rare coins connected to unique minting history. The 1980p Liberty coin remains part of that fascinating story. Millions were made, but only the finest and rarest survive in truly collectible condition. Those surviving examples continue attracting attention from experts around the world. So before you ignore old coins sitting around your home, check carefully. Look at the year. Look for the mint mark. Search for unusual errors. Examine the condition closely. What seems ordinary today might surprise you tomorrow. The next valuable coin discovery could already be sitting in your collection waiting to be recognized. The world of coins is filled with mystery, hidden value, and unbelievable stories that continue surprising collectors every single year. The famous 1980p Liberty coin proves once again that incredible treasures do not always come wrapped in gold. Sometimes they hide in the smallest everyday objects people overlook. If you enjoyed discovering the hidden story behind this incredible coin, stay connected because the next coin we reveal might be worth even more than anyone expects, and your pocket change could hold the treasure everyone else missed. Today's collector's market. Most people never stop to think that ordinary-looking coins can sometimes hide extraordinary value, and one coin collectors continue talking about is the famous 1987 Liberty coin. At first glance it may look completely normal, just another coin used by millions of Americans decades ago, but hidden inside certain rare examples are details that have turned this coin into something collectors desperately search for every single year. The year 1987 was a fascinating period in American coin production. During this time the United States Mint was producing millions of coins for circulation, and among those coins, Philadelphia Mint-marked coins became especially important to collectors because of their production variations and rare minting abnormalities. The small P Mint mark on a 1987 Liberty coin tells collectors that this piece was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the most famous coin-producing facilities in American history. Collectors are often surprised when they discover how something so common can suddenly become extremely valuable. The secret is never just the date itself. What matters most is condition, rarity, mint errors, preservation, strike quality, and collector demand. A normal circulated 1987 Liberty coin might be worth only face value or a few dollars, but certain rare examples have sold for shocking amounts in private auctions and collector communities. The design itself carries historical significance. The Liberty image has represented freedom, strength, and the identity of the United States for generations. Every detail stamped onto the coin tells a story about American craftsmanship and national pride. The engravers who created these designs focused heavily on detail, making each line, letter, and edge important. For collectors, even the smallest difference in these details can mean the difference between a common coin and an extremely valuable treasure. One reason the 1987 Liberty coin attracts so much attention is because minting mistakes sometimes occurred during production. Mint workers operated under enormous production pressure, and when machines struck coins incorrectly, rare errors were created. These errors can include double strikes, off-center strikes, weak strikes, die cracks, unusual planchet errors, missing details, and other production anomalies. A double-struck example is especially exciting because it happens when a coin is struck more than once while being slightly misaligned. This creates visible duplicate letters or overlapping designs. Collectors pay significant money for coins showing dramatic double-strike errors because every error becomes unique. No two mistake coins are exactly identical, which increases desirability in the collector's market. Off-center strike errors can be even more dramatic. Imagine seeing a coin where part of the design appears missing because the blank metal disc was not properly positioned during striking. Instead of producing a perfect centered image, the machine stamps part of the design outside the intended area. When these coins survive in excellent condition, their value can rise far beyond ordinary expectations. Condition remains one of the most powerful factors influencing coin value. A coin stored carefully for decades without scratches, wear, corrosion, or discoloration can command much higher prices than heavily circulated examples. Professional grading companies examine coins under magnification and assign numerical grades based on quality. Coins graded near perfect condition often become highly competitive among collectors. Some collectors search specifically for coins with unusual shine and strong luster. Luster refers to the original brilliance left on the coin surface after striking. Once a coin circulates through daily transactions, this shine gradually disappears. But when collectors discover a 1987 Liberty coin still showing strong original mint luster decades later, excitement immediately increases because such preservation is extremely uncommon. Auction sales continue proving how unpredictable coin values can become. While ordinary examples may remain inexpensive, rare condition specimens combined with mint errors sometimes surprise collectors with very high prices. Stories circulate constantly about collectors purchasing inexpensive coins only to later discover hidden. Families often unknowingly store valuable coins for decades inside forgotten drawers, piggy banks, old cabinets, and inherited collections. Coins passed down from parents or grandparents sometimes contain pieces that modern collectors eagerly seek. The 1987 Liberty coin frequently appears inside these forgotten collections because it circulated widely during its release year, meaning rare examples can still be hiding in unexpected places. Coin grading can completely transform market value overnight. A coin that looks ordinary to one person may reveal extraordinary details under professional examination. Sharp edges, strong strike details, original texture, and absence of damage all contribute heavily to final grading. Collectors around the world have turned coin hunting into a serious investment hobby. Rare coins represent history preserved in metal, and demand often increases as time passes. Unlike modern digital assets, collectible coins physically connect people to the past. The 1987 Liberty coin represents an era of American mint production that continues fascinating both experienced collectors and beginners entering the hobby. What makes coin collecting exciting is unpredictability. Nobody can instantly know the true value of every coin simply by looking quickly. Sometimes hidden details invisible to the naked eye become critical during expert examination. A small die crack, unusual strike pattern, or subtle production anomaly may completely transform an ordinary coin. The growing online coin community has made rare coin discoveries more exciting than ever. Every day collectors share new findings, auction results, grading surprises, and unexpected treasure stories. Coins once ignored decades ago are now receiving renewed attention as collectors study older mint records and identify overlooked rarities. Many people assume only ancient coins hold value, but modern coins can be equally fascinating. The 1987 Liberty coin proves that relatively recent coins can become highly desirable when rarity combines with condition and collector demand. A coin made during ordinary daily production can eventually transform into something extraordinary years later. Professional collectors often recommend checking every detail carefully before dismissing a coin. Date placement, mint mark quality, edge structure, lettering sharpness, unusual discoloration patterns, and alignment all deserve close inspection. Sometimes one unusual detail becomes the difference between spending change and hidden treasure. Imagine discovering that a simple coin carried in pockets decades ago could now attract serious collector interest. Stories like these keep the coin collecting world alive. Every collector dreams of finding a rare piece overlooked by others, and coins like the 1987 Liberty continue fueling that excitement year after year. The truth is simple. Rare coin discoveries happen more often than most people realize. Valuable treasures are not always locked inside museums or expensive private collections. Sometimes they hide inside everyday places where nobody thinks to look. Old boxes, forgotten collections, inherited jars, and spare change containers can all contain surprises waiting to be discovered. The 1987 Liberty coin remains one of those fascinating pieces reminding collectors that history often hides in plain sight. Millions were made, millions circulated, but only a small number possess the rare characteristics collectors truly want. That combination of ordinary appearance and extraordinary potential makes this coin unforgettable in the world of collecting. So before spending old coins without checking them carefully, take another look. Study the details, inspect the mint mark, examine the surface condition, and search for unusual characteristics. You never know whether the coin sitting quietly in your collection today could become tomorrow's remarkable discovery worth far more than anyone expects. Some collectors spend years searching for overlooked coins hiding in circulation while others inherit collections containing unexpected treasures. The excitement never disappears because every coin carries a story, and sometimes that story includes surprising value capable of changing everything. The famous 1987 Liberty coin continues proving exactly why collectors remain obsessed with searching for hidden treasures hiding in everyday places. Today we are talking about one of the most fascinating coins that has captured the attention of collectors everywhere, the incredible 1989 Liberty coin. At first glance, the 1989 Liberty coin may look completely ordinary. Millions of people have seen this coin, spent this coin, ignored this coin, and never stopped to wonder whether the small piece of metal they were holding could secretly carry a surprising value. But the truth is that certain versions of this famous coin have become highly desirable among collectors, and some rare examples have sold for astonishing amounts that continue to shock people entering the coin collecting world. The story begins in the year 1989, a period when the United States Mint was producing enormous numbers of coins for circulation across America. During this year, one of the major production facilities responsible for creating coins was the famous Denver Mint, known for marking its coins with the small but extremely important letter D. The Liberty design on coins has always represented freedom, independence, and the historical identity of the United States. For decades, collectors have admired Liberty-themed coins because they connect directly to the nation's heritage and often become symbols of important eras in American history. When people hear the word Liberty on a coin, serious collectors immediately pay attention because many valuable coins throughout history have carried that legendary name. Now here is where things become exciting. Most 1989 D Liberty coins found in circulation are common, but hidden among millions produced that year are extremely rare examples containing unusual characteristics that dramatically increase value. Small minting mistakes, production errors, striking abnormalities, off-center designs, double dyes, unusual coloration, missing details, and exceptionally preserved conditions can transform an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. Coin grading plays one of the biggest roles in determining value. A coin that looks worn and damaged may only carry face value, but if the same coin remains in perfect condition with strong original shine and no scratches, collectors can pay incredible premiums. Professional grading companies inspect these coins under powerful magnification, studying every tiny detail before assigning a grade that determines how valuable that coin becomes in the collector market. Some collectors spend years searching bank rolls hoping to discover one perfect specimen. The difference between an average coin and a high-grade mint state coin can be massive. A normal circulated example might be worth only a few cents or a few dollars depending on demand, but a nearly flawless coin preserved since the day it left the mint can rise dramatically in value. History has repeatedly shown that coins once considered ordinary suddenly explode in value years later as collector demand rises and surviving examples disappear. This is exactly why experienced collectors never underestimate older Liberty coins, especially pieces connected to specific mint locations like Denver. There have been auctions where rare coins with unusual characteristics reached unbelievable prices that shocked even longtime collectors. Imagine owning a coin forgotten in an old drawer for decades only to learn that collectors are willing to pay life-changing money because that coin possesses an extremely rare error invisible to the average person. One of the most important things to inspect on a 1989 D Liberty coin is the strike quality. During high-speed mint production, machines occasionally create slight abnormalities. These errors become permanent and immediately attract collectors who specialize in unusual mint mistakes. Even a tiny difference can create massive collector interest. Another factor is metal quality. Sometimes small composition irregularities occur during manufacturing, creating coins with unusual texture, appearance, or weight differences. Collectors with trained eyes notice details most people completely miss. What looks normal to one person could actually be a rare collectible gem. Experts constantly remind collectors never to clean old coins. Cleaning damages surfaces and destroys natural aging patterns that serious buyers value highly. Many people unknowingly reduce coin value by trying to make coins appear shiny and new. In coin collecting, original condition is everything. The coin market itself has grown enormously over the years. Online auctions now allow collectors from around the world to compete aggressively for rare discoveries. A coin sitting unnoticed for decades can suddenly become valuable because international demand pushes prices higher than anyone expected. When discussing market value for the 1989 D Liberty coin, ordinary circulated examples usually remain modest in value. Better preserved uncirculated examples can command stronger prices. Rare mint errors dramatically increase value. Exceptional professionally graded specimens sometimes reach premium collector prices that surprise new collectors entering the hobby. Many collectors dream of discovering the next hidden jackpot coin. Stories continue appearing every year about ordinary people finding coins in family collections, inherited boxes, forgotten piggy banks, or old jars stored away for decades. These discoveries prove that valuable coins do not only exist inside museums or professional collections. The excitement surrounding rare coins comes from uncertainty. Nobody knows exactly what hidden treasures remain undiscovered. Somewhere right now there may be forgotten collections containing incredibly valuable pieces waiting for someone to recognize their importance. Collectors often use magnifying glasses, digital microscopes, precision scales, and reference catalogs when examining coins. Tiny details impossible to notice with the naked eye sometimes reveal rare characteristics responsible for huge increases in value. Knowledge becomes just as valuable as the coin itself. The 1989 Liberty coin continues attracting attention because older coins gradually disappear from circulation over time. People save them, collectors purchase them, damaged examples get destroyed, and surviving high-quality pieces become harder to find every year. Rare coin collecting combines history, treasure hunting, patience, and financial opportunity in a way few hobbies can match. Every coin carries a story from the year it was created, and some stories become worth far more than the metal itself. Imagine discovering that a simple coin sitting unnoticed in your collection carries hidden rarity factors that collectors desperately want. The possibility itself keeps millions of collectors searching every single day, hoping their next discovery becomes the coin everyone else overlooked. Before spending old coins, always inspect the date carefully. Study the mint mark. Look for unusual doubling around letters. Examine edges carefully. Check whether details appear weak, shifted, or unusual compared with normal examples. The smallest difference can sometimes create the biggest opportunity. The incredible world of coin collecting continues proving one powerful lesson. Never underestimate small objects. Something that appears ordinary can carry extraordinary value hidden beneath years of neglect and misunderstanding. The 1989 Liberty coin remains a perfect example of how history, rarity, condition, and collector demand combine together to transform everyday money into a collectible treasure worth far more than anyone originally imagined. So next time you find old coins resting inside your home, pause before spending them. Look closely because the coin in your hand might not simply be spare change. It could be a hidden collectible treasure waiting to reveal its true value. And somewhere out there a rare 1989 Liberty coin may already be sitting quietly inside someone's pocket, completely unnoticed, while carrying the potential to become one of the most exciting discoveries in the entire world of coin collecting. Sometimes fortune does not come in gold bars, diamonds, or expensive jewelry. Sometimes fortune comes disguised as a simple coin most people ignore every single day, and that forgotten coin could change everything forever. Keep searching, keep checking your coins carefully, because the next valuable discovery could already be closer than you think, and the world of rare coins continues proving that even the smallest pieces of history can hold extraordinary hidden wealth.